Humanize. We expedite enterprise transformation through SaaS and AI. Humanize presents to you our podcast series, Ctrl Alt Ai. Today we are honored to have three experts in the field of artificial intelligence. Hari, a 25 years IT veteran holding a patent and an innovator in the space of AI and ML. Along with him, we have Subhashish, an alumni of Indian Institute of Science researching on AI for close to a decade. As a moderator, we have Raja, CTO of Humanize, who loves bringing technology, empathy, and creativity together. With a huge round of applause, let's begin today's show.
Welcome to the first episode of Ctrl Alt Ai. Today's topic is about future of IT services and how things are getting changed with the advent of AI, Gen AI, and Agentic-AI models. Right now, my question to you, Subhashish, IT services industry has long been capitalizing on skill-based, cost-competitive, manpower-intensive work. Now, tell us your views on how this business model is going to get impacted with AI.
Sure thing, Raja. It's a very important aspect. Maybe we have noticed just a few days ago, Anthropic CEO mentioned that the AI will eventually write 90% of the code in the coming 6 months and nearly all code in 12 months. What it means that $1.5 trillion ITS industry currently spends 30 to 35% of costs on the software development and IT services. Now, the automation is projected to reduce this huge expense by 15 to 25%. That would save $70 to $100 billion globally by 2026. Now, this shift will, mainly come from reduced reliance on entry-level programmers and AI-managed workflows for coding, deployments, maintenance. A few specific things. Number one is that a workforce and the infrastructure optimizations, right? So roles involving the repetitive task, data entry, accounting, junior programming are already declining as AI agents become the mainstream. Now, companies are also saving 10 to 15% on the office space, cloud usage, and the IT infra through automated CI/CD pipelines, infrastructure as code, and low-code platforms, pushing everything towards that everything as a code kind of model. Number two, efficiency gains. Of course, the code automation enables the ITS firms to scale faster with less human effort. Low code and no code platforms, sometimes we call vibe coding, allows non-technical users even to build the apps quickly. Now, Gartner recently predicted that by 2025, 65% of app development will happen through low code tools, cutting time to market significantly. If I just look ahead for the next 5 years, maybe from 2026 to 2031, AI-led automations will be the backbone of the IT services, especially for the SaaS products. AIT orchestrated agents will manage 70 to 80% operational workloads, customer support, monitoring, iterative updates. The traditional, that manpower-driven pyramid-shaped model of IT services is evolving into a deep tech-enabled, specialized, non-linear structure, right? Now, in summary, what I wanted to convey, number one, cost savings. Automation cuts the software development IT services cost by 15 to 20%, driving 70 to 100 million in savings by next year. Workforce shift, we also talked about that demand for the repetitive roles is gradually dropping. Automation also reduces the operational cost by 10 to 15%. And the future of the IT services, where AI orchestrated agents will handle most of the operational tasks, reshaping the industry into a tech-driven, specialized model. That's in a nutshell what it's my purview is, Raja.
Wonderful, Subhashish. I think there are a few nuggets which I picked up, right? I think you mentioned about the organization structure is shifting from a typical pyramid structure to a diamond-based structure, and also software delivery is going to be much more technology-led, IP-led, and would eventually become services as a software is what we are calling, the way of deep tech-enabled software industry as well, right? Now, with that being said, Hari, if I may ask that Shubhashi spoke about the changing landscape with AI-led IT services industry. Now, give me some real-life use cases to elaborate how IT services are going to get impacted.
Sure, Raja. See, at Humanize, me and Subhashish, we have embarked on a journey to kind of improve this productivity for implementing SaaS products. Example, ERP, CRM, ITSM, right? And we are not leaving any stones unturned. So we are trying to automate typically every stage of the SDLC lifecycle, be it requirements, design, coding, configuration of the SaaS products, testing or generating test cases, everything. So I'll take an example of requirements. So we are all talking in this meeting. So typically, most of the requirements these days are done using a Teams meeting. Not all stakeholders are in the same location. So people do have a meeting taken from remote. People take notes, consultants. This is how typically it's done, and that these meeting recordings and the notes, somebody has to do an minutes of meeting, summarize it, and then send it to a BA or a developer who has to probably create a documentation out of it, design document, architecture, etc. Right? There are many things that happen. There are a lot of information that gets lost in transition. It's a time-consuming process. The person who took the requirements probably is a very busy guy, so he has to move to other customer discussion, etc. So that to get his time, customer's time is going to be difficult, right? So what we do is we take all these audio recordings, meeting notes, as image file and audio file, convert them into a transcript, and also have AI help us to summarize and convert this into user stories and process scope, whatever we wanted to have. Uh, Most of the things are covered in that meeting. So all those things are getting captured, right? And we also are developing system that a consultant might have missed asking a customer, or customer might have probably missed to tell us by taking information from past projects and help drive or get a better coverage during requirements. Once this is one part of it, so we also do help in configuration assistance and or automatic configuration from the platform. Anything where we can help a developer or a BA community to get or boost their typical way of working. We are not going to replace everybody, but yes, hey, at least we are trying to give 30 to 40% improvement in their productivity cycle. That way they can focus on many better things and make sure the products are delivered successfully and well within the usual time that we are most of the IT service company take. So as a summary, this thing is becoming real. We like many other industry like manufacturing or retail, productivity can be improved through automation. We are seeing that, and we will give back a lot of benefit to the customer, and it also benefits us as an implementation partner, and even the OEM partners that we have. Everybody can realize the things much faster, much efficiently, and people are happy with that.
Wonderful, Hari. I think there are, multiple important use cases that you talked about, right? One is gathering the right requirements so that you do not get into a situation where, there is a gap between what the customer asked and, what the system has been developed, right? You talked about productivity improvement by helping the developer to do configurations and directly push it into the environment that you want to work on. And last but not the least, not only generating codes, but generating an accurate code or a usable code that can be used as a part of platform development. I think marvelous use cases that you guys are working on. But there's still a little bit of apprehension, right? And not only in the minds of the clients, but also in the minds of the ecosystem. And let me ask Shubhashish my next question, which is the general assumption is, LLM can do everything. You ask an LLM a question and it will tell you the answer. Now, is it really the case, in the areas that you guys are working on, or for someone to create a contextualized hyper automation of a specific SaaS software development process? Is there a lot of things that goes beyond just simple LLM call?
Sure, this is an interesting topic. So let me try to address this. So LLMs are predominantly meant for generating the next token. What it means is that you ask anything to the LLM and mostly you get a response. You type a questions in any AI assistants per se, and you will get the response. The real question is, how do you validate that the response um, that we have received from LLM is accurate and as per our context, and how to put control mechanisms around that, right? So LLMs can hallucinate, they can introduce profanity, or even give a different answer to the same questions. Each time you ask the same questions, you will get a different response. And that is okay because LLMs are trained in that part. So proper guardrails are essential. Let me share some examples how we are handling this from our humanize platform, right? So first, number one, guardrails, the LLM guardrails and the validation. So since we deal with multiple documents and we use the models to generate the responses, we have guardrails to detect profanity, toxic language, and the topic relevance, whether the document stays aligned with the topic and the client of the discussion. Like these checks happen both before feeding the data to LLM and after receiving the response. In Humanize, we validate document relevance and client-specific requirements through these AI guardrails. Number two is the self-filling agents for automated code review, right? So while using the LLMs for code generation per se, we introduce self-reflection mechanisms through the agent. So what it is essentially, there are two agents. One is generating the code, and another is a critic agent who is reviewing the code. And if they find issues, they again collaborate with the generator. So there are multi-agents collaborating with each other unless they find that, okay, the code is ready to be used for the users and then deliver it to the users. So it's a kind of self-healing activity that is inbuilt. Third, contextualizations and the self-consistency maybe. So to improve the response accuracy, we use RAG, retrieval augmented generations mechanisms, adding relevant background context before calling the LLM. This reduces the hallucinations and this also grounds the response in factual data. Now, we also build an self-consistency mechanism to make sure that the repeated questions, if you ask to the model, you will get a similar and stable response, right? There may be many more ways to address this, but these are the predominantly few very important items that we use in our platform, and I'm sure this is being used in the other areas as well. So just to summarize, one is guardrails and validations to control profanity, toxic language, topic alignment. Number two is the automated code reviews, where critic agents and the generator agents collaborate and make sure the code is perfect. And the contextualization and consistency, where RAG is RAG to ground the outputs in real data and a self-consistent mechanisms for the stable answers. So these are the few very widely used specific items where which you have to practice. And of course, in our platform, we are exercising all this.
Wonderful, Shubhashish. Thank you. I think this gives a lot of assurance to the customer in terms of how AI gets used, and it is not just a random call on LLM. Now, with that being said, Hari, my question to you is, how will this work finally, right? The clients are worried about proprietary code, about security concerns, intrusivity, explainability of the AI, right? How are you handling it in your humanize platform? Give me some examples.
Right. See, this concern, when we sat on the table to even before even we started building this, we had thought about it. So it's a part of our design. And that's one of the reasons we chose SaaS product implementation. You take SaaS product, maybe 60 or 70% of the implementation is already within the product itself because the requirements are common if you take a particular industry, right? Yes, there are many other common requirements that probably is not covered within the OEM itself. For example, integration. You take a CRM and a ERP, they have to be integrated, and ERP to to a ITSM, they have to be integrated, right? So again, yes, it is a requirement that's not built within the OEM, but it's very common requirement. Yeah, you take bank integration or check printing or data flowing from CRM to ERP. These are all very common. Every customer has it, right? So today, probably individual software probably help this. At Humanize, what we are trying to do is with the help of AI, why don't we bring all these things into a single platform where we address the common 80% of the problem, which is common across all the customers, right? So there is no sensitive information or proprietary information of an enterprise that we are dealing with here. So no problem in for us to build AI models that can cater to these common business problems, which will solve most of the problems that they have, right? Having said that, when it comes to testing, we have to use their data. And like friend Subhashish told, we are using guardrails and many other technologies to make sure sensitive data or client's proprietary data is not being used. So that's one thing. And we also have our own language models or AI models trained with specific use cases in mind. So it's not going to be a large model that's going to run somewhere in the cloud. It is going to be within our own premise or the client's premise. And yes, we also have traceability of what the AI does, behind the scenes, which kind of gives the explanation or the explainability of the AI within our platform. So these are some things which we do to probably, help get the trust of the customers. And this was in our mind while we designed the product itself, right? Yeah, that's my response, Raja.
Perfect, Hari. Thanks a lot to both of you. A very exciting discussion, and as it looks like there is a wide horizon of opportunity standing in front of us. Looking forward to the next session of Control Alt AI from Humanize. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Raja. Thanks, Siri.
Now, with that being said, this brings us to the most interesting part of, this session. I have a couple of questions, for you both, and this is going to be rapid fire. So here it goes. And Shubhashish, for you, tell me three game-changing areas where AI can create services as a software.
Okay. First, I believe that, of course, the technical support and DevOps, where AI-powered chatbots, virtual assistants, predictive maintenance, and AI-driven knowledge bases are transforming the support into the software service. Two, data analytics and decision support. So AI systems, like they can analyze vast amount of data and deliver the actionable insights, enabling faster and smarter decisions quickly. And third is the business operations. So AI automates the data entry, document processing, workflow management, tuning that traditional back office work into an efficient software-driven services. So these three is what I believe.
Wonderful. Hari?
Yeah, from my side, I'll stick to one concept or one use case, but within that maybe one or two technical things which I want to highlight. So the base thing is legacy modernization, right? I mean, when it comes to brownfield implementation or trying to move a legacy implementation of software to modernize, to come to a newer cloud-based solutions. Uh, Most of the enterprises don't lack documentation coordination amongst the stakeholders to provide us what really went through maybe 15, 20 years back. Some of them might not have been even in the organization when it got implemented, right? So how do we address this problem? I mean, till now, I think it's probably a consulting engagement where probably we have to understand what has been implemented, document it, and then try to see, what kind of recommendations we can give, and then move. While the consulting part can still be there, but how can we reduce the human effort, right? And in this aspect, so that's the area I think most of the IT service companies going to come across. And we at Humanize are thinking about how do we understand their existing landscape, understand the code that they've written, come up with a documentation on our own, at least, and of course have humans review it. And so that's one thing. And after that, if your target is this, going to a certain system, how do we map these requirements to the target system? What kind of code reduction we can bring? Can this feature be automatically, just on a click of a button enabled in this new platform? These are the recommendations. These are two areas where we are trying to do, automation that would certainly help the IT services company with brownfields implementations and any, and transformation kind of projects.
Wonderful, Hari. Thank you both. I think this was an exciting discussion that we had today, and I think it opens up a wider horizon of possibilities, that is standing ahead of us. And wish you all the luck with Human AI's platform. Thank you.